Hey there, I am Barb Higgins, and this is 1,000 Tiny Steps. In this podcast, I share my stories of love, loss, triumph, and tragedy as I continue to retrace my steps and ponder what led to the death of my daughter Molly. By doing so, I hope to not only help myself, but to bring purpose and possibility to those who listen. If you are ready to laugh, cry, shake your head in disbelief, then tie, buckle, lace up, or slip on your shoes, and join me as we begin our 1,000 Tiny Steps.
Hey everybody, Barb Higgins here, welcoming you to episode 205 of 1,000 Tiny Steps. Today continues this amazing discovery I have of people in my own town that I've known forever who are doing crazy, amazing things. We talked to my friend Brenda, who shared what it was like growing up with achondroplasia, which is a cause of dwarfism. I've talked to my friend Tammy, who just wrote a book about the fact that she had a tumor on her adrenal gland that made her sick for 10 years, and it took her 10 years to get a diagnosis. We've talked to a guy named Tim, who needed a kidney transplant, and he got one all right from a pig. In the process of sharing his story, he mentioned that his daughter, Gabby, who I've known since she was maybe elementary school, Walker School days. I taught at Walker School for 15 years, and Gabby was a student there, had stepped up to give him a kidney, and she had had some health issues of her own that prevented her from being a donor. And she has taken some massive life change steps initially to help her dad. And now, like every family, they're navigating what all those choices might mean and what may or may not happen. So, Gabby Andrews, welcome to my podcast.
Thank you.
Tell me what you've been doing since you left Concord and grew up and became a grown-up person.
For about 10 years, I traveled and worked for the Student Conservation Association. Love them. They're tattooed on me. I did everything from being a wildland firefighter to building hiking trails. That path led me to college, where I got my associates in ecotourism and adventure travel. I worked for the Appalachian Mountain Club. I came back home and worked at a horse barn and managed a horse barn. And then I never believed in finding love online, but surprise, it happened. And I have two amazing partners. I moved to Virginia Beach and I don't regret it. I don't miss snow.
Yeah, I bet.
I managed a small animal practice for about the first 3 years I was down here, and then got out of the animal world because it takes a toll. Kinda. I transitioned my animal work, and I work for Remax now, and I love it. It's a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. I go in, do my job, come home, and I'm not bothered.
Yeah, because everything else you've done is 24/7. You're still thinking about it even when you're not at work.
Correct.
Wow. That's a lot of fun stuff.
And it was amazing. I mean, I was 3 states shy of being in every state. So
I've got 4 to go.
Right? Yeah. North Dakota, South Dakota, and Hawaii.
I have North Dakota, South Dakota, Nevada, and Alaska.
Yeah, I did trail work in Denali up there, and it was just stunning.
Yeah, I bet. So I'm watching the news, and I see your dad come on the news and talk about needing a kidney transplant. And I'm like, Tim Andrews, God, I know that guy. It all clicked for me once I saw him on the screen. And so I reached out to your mom and dad and said, could I interview you? And I'm sure you watched it. We had a wonderful conversation, and we just talked about all of it, like the fact that the kidney came from the pig and everything they had to do and all the adjustments they make and all the different things they do to make it work. And in that conversation, we talked about the fact that it wasn't a permanent fix like a human kidney might be, that there was a time limit to it. His big thing was it buys me time to learn more about my body, to learn more about my sickness, and to find a human kidney. I'm still on the list. And then you came up, and he mentioned at the time that you were a match, a blood match, family match, and which is a huge first step, and that you were undergoing some pretty significant health changes to see if you could end up being a match and donating a kidney. So before we get into your part of that story, what was it like as his daughter living far away, going through the whole kidney thing with him?
It's a roller coaster. And it's still, like today, it's still a roller coaster. Because there's good days, there's bad days, there's really, really bad days.
Yeah.
I have to field the information that I get because it's emotional which is understandable, to now just being connected with his doctors. They text me when they have an update, which is wonderful because it helps balance the two.
Yes, yes, yeah.
But I mean, it's a lot. I went up at the beginning of the year and I was there, and that was still when he was doing at-home dialysis. And it's rough for anyone to view your parent that way.
Yeah.
To see him that week, to see the struggles he would have, he'd often bleed out, and like twice I stopped his arm from bleeding, so it's this emotional roller coaster that you never expect was coming.
Right. Yeah, it's exhausting. Kenny never did at-home dialysis, and that was because at the time Gracie and Molly were still elementary, middle school, just getting into high school for Gracie when he was in the throes of his heaviest dialysis. But what I remember and what was poignant with your dad was, in the beginning, dialysis is a relief, it gives you relief, and that's very short-lived. And then it kicks the shit out of you. So you have to do it. So both your dad and Kenny were TTS, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, dialysis patients.
Yep.
So Monday was everybody's favorite day, because Tuesday dialysis, Wednesday you throw up and sleep all day. Thursday dialysis, Friday you throw up and sleep all day. Saturday dialysis, Sunday you throw up and sleep all day. Monday, no dialysis, and you've gotten a bit beyond the puking. And so it's one of those things that unless you've gone through it, nobody would really know that that type of thing exists, that
Correct.
Really life was one day a week. And then the rest of it was just shit, how exhausting that part is. Kenny didn't have a kidney disease. He had an autoimmune disorder that attacked his kidneys. So for him, he has a new kidney, but he still has the autoimmune disease. So his transplant medications is a constant battle of lower the immune system suppressors, raise the immune system suppressors. When your dad was talking about the intricacies of a pig kidney versus a human kidney, it's the same thing. It's this constant adjustment, which maybe you feel better physically, but that's exhausting. You're constantly waiting for numbers to come and blood work 3 days a week and all that kind of stuff. He seems to be handling it okay, though.
He loves to put a strong front on. He doesn't like people to see his weaknesses. He doesn't even like when I see his weaknesses. Where for me, I'm like, well, I want to know what's going on. So I don't care.
Yeah. So now tell me your piece in it, which started as being a kidney donor for your dad. So tell me the process that you went through sort of to end up where you are now.
It started with I don't even know what blood type I am. So I went into Red Cross and donated blood just so I could find out hey, what blood type am I? And we looked at a couple different programs, and there was one that I had applied to it, and basically my kidney would have been removed in New York and then flown to Boston because I'm so far down.
Yeah.
Went in, they took all the blood that they could take, I swear. And then I heard nothing. And I would call, and finally someone called me back, and it was a nurse, and she goes, well, we can't even discuss your blood work because your BMI is too high. And I'm like, okay, do I look like a match? Nothing. They give you nothing. Nope, can't talk to you. And that was in the beginning. And so it was kind of a lot of fielding, where is this going? How bad is it? That roller coaster. And then okay, it's getting really bad. And of all things, I also wanted a breast reduction because I have a bad back.
Right. Oh, that's massive back.
And it was the same response. BMI is too high. The plastic surgeon won't even talk to you. I'm like, okay, doctor, what's the next step? And so my primary care, who's amazing, is I'm going to send you to this doctor, and she does weight loss stuff. I tried inductions and all sorts of stuff, and they made me very sick.
Yeah.
My body couldn't tolerate them. So when I went in, I thought I was going in for just a consultation. Let's talk weight loss surgery. What does that look like? What's the better option? And I remember coming home and being well, I think I'm signed up for weight loss surgery. I have this whole book,
Yeah.
and I have classes that I have to go to.
I think somehow I joined the club.
Yeah, like and that's literally how I felt. And they make you jump through their
Yeah.
own hoops. So it was 8 months of classes that they have you do, and with that they want to see a little weight loss beforehand,
Yeah.
and training, and it's hard. It sucked. I love food to the next person that loves food.
Yeah.
And then insurance was a question because
Oh,
my insurance changed. Are they gonna accept the 6 months of classes I already did, and da 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 da?
right.
Thankfully they did. It wasn't a problem. Had surgery, it was fully covered. Thought for the first 2 weeks it was the worst decision of my life.
Oh, did you have a rough time after the
It
surgery?
was awful. The gas pain, oh man. So my stomach is roughly the size of like a banana.
Okay, so it makes it little.
Yep, makes it little. And the portion of the stomach that they take out also is what sends the like hunger chemical to the brain. So
Got it.
that's why I say my brain still has cravings, but my stomach isn't saying like,
Feed me.
yeah, like I'm hungry.
Right.
Not to say that it's still not a challenge, and I still work through that because, in my opinion, anyone that ends up to the point where they need a surgery is just like an alcoholic needing a rehab.
Yes. There are people that would take that statement and be offended by it. But the bottom line is, it's what you and I talked about before we started recording.
Yep.
Food is a lot more than just, here's your breakfast, eat it so you have energy till lunch. Food, it represents a gazillion different things in every culture. And so there's attachment to it and emotion to it. It's used for comfort. It's withholding it is used as punishment. Like, it's such a complex thing. When I taught health at Concord High, and I remember getting spoken to by one of the assistant principals at the time, I said to the kids, he walked in right when I was saying it, so he missed the whole context. I'm like, if you want to be an addict, please get addicted to alcohol or heroin. Don't become anorexic. Don't become an overeater. Don't have your addiction center around food. And he looked at me like, are you telling them to be heroin addicts? I'm like, no. My point is, if you want to quit heroin, stay the fuck away from heroin. If you
Yeah.
want to quit alcohol, stay away from alcohol. You can't quit food. You can't stop eating food if you're an overeater and just ignore food for the rest of your life. And you can't ignore it when you're anorexic and you need to eat it. It's like fixing an eating issue is like trying to get sober in a bar or trying to quit drugs under a bridge with a bunch of people shooting up around you.
Because it's everywhere. It's ads. It's the radio ads. There's TV. Everything you drive down the road and you see. And so, I've had some setbacks and struggles. I have two amazing partners that even when they're frustrated and they're like, why'd you do that? And I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They still love me. They haven't gotten rid of me yet.
Yep. Not yet. That's awesome. You had a rough time for the first couple of weeks, and then has it settled down for you?
Yeah. So figuring out once the like physical pain went away, now it's like mastering like finding alternatives. And like the first 2 weeks, all you can do is eat soft food. So like I'm so over Jello and pudding and yogurt, and I still say that even though most mornings I eat a yogurt because that's what my stomach likes in the morning is yogurt. So as we slowly expand food, like I just added keto bread this week was like the most amazing thing. And it was funny, my partner this morning, I was like, oh, I'm done because I had my egg. I had, a plant-based sausage patty and watermelon, and I was determined to have my half a piece of toast, and I couldn't do it. I was full. And he goes, this bread is nasty.
And you're like, no, it's the most delicious thing ever.
I didn't notice.
Oh, that's funny. Do you have to eat like calorie dense, nutrition dense food? Like since your portions are little, you probably need to eat healthy stuff.
It is. So their focus is protein. So I have to get between 60 and 90 grams of protein in a day. And most people go like, oh, that's not a big deal.
Yeah, I would say that's no big deal.
It's a huge deal.
Yes.
It is very rare that I get close to 90.
Right.
Most days I'm just under or like right in the 60s range.
Yep. Yep.
Because on top of that, your second goal is at a minimum to drink 48 ounces of liquid.
Holy crap.
My stomach
Is it
is
big?
4 ounces. It's probably slightly bigger now. They say by like month 3 to 6, it goes to about 6 ounces.
Yep. Yep.
And then within a year, I can eat like a cup and a half of food. That's about as much. But still, within that cup and a half, thinking about consuming that much protein
Right.
and that much liquid, it doesn't leave a lot of room
No,
for
it does not.
all
Right.
the other things.
Right. Right. That are also healthy.
That
What
are
about
also,
like protein powder in water? Like,
we forgot lunch today, so before I hopped on, I had a protein shake.
yeah.
And I can do things like almond milk, because then I get protein and liquid.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like win-win. But yeah, it's a balance. And my partner, side note, he actually had been diagnosed with stage 3 kidney disease. I, of course, melted down. I was like, I'm not talking about it. Like, peace out.
Yeah.
Because that was like legit my reaction.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I believe it.
I can't have the 2 men in my life.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. I know. Not okay. Not okay.
Not okay. And because he is watching what my dad has gone through, he has been so strict with himself that
Oh,
he
God.
actually reversed, which is very rare.
Right.
When he went and had his follow-up, he was now stage 2, which is amazing. And
Right.
he was, just, again, food. Everyone loves food, German bologna, salami, salt. I've never met a human that would put salt on mayo to eat the salt on the French fries. Yeah, like, loved salt. And there were meals that he would make that I'm like, it burns my mouth. And he's like, what? I was like, it's too salty.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And he's cut that all out.
Yeah.
All of it. Doesn't do salt. That's been like a side note of what a positive impact somebody's journey can have on somebody that had the opportunity to change his road and not go down.
Yeah. That's amazing. Wow. But talk about hashtag no coincidences. Like,
Right?
that's insanity.
Yeah.
We always say we're attracted to people that are familiar to us. But
Right?
kidney disease not counting right there, please.
Yeah. Yeah. Never expected it. I do walks almost every day, typically not on the weekend because I do a lot of physical labor with the chickens and all of that. But my dog is high energy. He's an English setter. And he knows my alarm goes off and he goes, okay, I'm going to go pee. She's going to make coffee and then I'm going to sit and whine by this door until we go on our walk. And so all of that, it's building a new routine. It's building a new routine around food, being able to openly communicate about things like, oh my God, I really want this. Or like, how dare you send me to the grocery store by myself? Can I tell you how many things I picked up and put back down? Because it is that addiction piece. Like, this says 0 sugar. No, it's not. It's a lie. And then you just like go angry through the grocery store trying to like find a way to like feed these cravings. And in the end, you just have to, follow the path you're given.
Yep. So after I lost my job in the school district, I joined CrossFit and I fell in love with it. It's a paleo-based diet, which is basically single ingredient foods, meat-based, not a vegetarian diet, nuts and seeds, lots of veggies, then a little bit less fruits, and then some nuts and some seeds, and hardly any starches or grains at all. So it's very, very, what grows in the ground, you eat. It was amazing to me how I stopped needing to go up and down the middle aisles in the grocery store.
Yeah.
Like, we would go to the grocery store and I'm like, let's just do our perimeter first, because anything in the middle aisles we need is just going to be like some rice maybe, or some, lentils or some pasta. It was amazing. And I find now, because I mostly just eat at home, when I go to restaurants, I'll go to the healthiest restaurant that I can, but any restaurant food is going to have preservatives in it or salt because it needs to last from when they order it to when it goes onto your table. I used to eat out all the time, and I'm like a once or twice a month kind of person now, because even if it sits well and everything, I wake up and I weigh an extra pound, my fingers get all swelled. It's like, oh my
Like, what
gosh.
just happened?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
we
It's amazing.
actually get a card once you have surgery that says, like, hey, I'm a bariatric patient. Please let me order off the kids menu because I can't consume an adult meal.
Right, that's right. Anyone give you grief about that?
I honestly haven't tried. We don't
Yeah.
eat out. I love to cook. I get that from my dad. My other partner, he loves to cook.
Yeah.
Elizabeth loves to eat. She's a great taste tester. Um,
That's awesome.
and she'll do quick meals for us if we're busy.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's
And
awesome.
I have a big garden. I'm gonna have so many tomatoes this
Yeah,
year. It's
yeah.
crazy.
Is your high BMI and your issues with weight, is it really just behavioral, or do you have any sort of genetic or physiological things going on that cause you to carry weight?
When I went and had my consultation, it was the first time a doctor told me, let me guess how much weight you lost until you hit a block on the injections. She's like, you probably lost 20 pounds and then couldn't go beyond that. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, what do your grandparents look like? What do your parents look like? What did your great grandparents look like? She's like, not all of your weight is because of food,
Correct.
but it's because of your genetics.
Right.
So whether that's because my metabolism slows down sooner than other people, and I felt so like heard for the first time.
Yes,
like,
yes.
oh my God,
Yes.
it's not just me. And I know I play a big part in it. Like, I put food in my mouth and fed it, but at the same time, there are parts of me that still would have ended up with a bigger body because that's just my family.
Yes. I think sometimes in all the different ways that diseases are misunderstood, obesity and people that carry weight, it's so easy to be judgy. In all my work with, coaching cross country at Concord High forever, I had every body size on that team. And I'll tell you right now, some of the biggest girls were the ones that worked the hardest to monitor what they ate. And then their families would come to watch the race, and it would be an entire family of big bone girls from Southern Alberta, and I'm like, oh, okay. So always I would say, like, I do track camp now for the little kids. And so all shapes and sizes. And I'm like, stand here if you think you have a good body for running. Stand here if you think you have a good body for throwing things. Stand here if you think you have a good body for jumping. Everyone finds a place to stand. I don't talk about how big it is. I don't talk about any of that. And I'm just like, if you want to have a fast car, you don't drive a minivan. You drive a race car. If you want to put a lot of people in your car, you don't drive a Volkswagen Bug. You get a minivan. Like, all the ways that you need to have different things, and bodies are no different. And this is my attempt to help kids see that their body is what it is. Let's put the judgment away and take a healthy look at, why do I look the way I look? So I come from a skinny family. I was always accused as a kid of being anorexic. It used to piss me off because I ate and ate and ate. I can't stand throwing up. I've had alcohol and drug issues as bad as anybody, but food, I don't like to be hungry and I don't like to get sick. I could eat the same thing every day and just not care. But that has nothing to do with my eating habits. For years, my breakfast was cold pizza and Diet Coke, and lunch was a honey bun and salt and vinegar chips, and dinner might be a good meal, but it might not. I might drive through McDonald's. Like, I ate like crap. It didn't make me fat. It didn't make me big. It made me unhealthy, but my body shape and size is what it is. And so that's why I ask. I have a really good friend that tried the Ozempic, and then she tried something else. Same thing, did nothing. I have a cousin who had the same thing. She was on it for a long time. It did nothing, and she went off. She had a good doctor too, who was really just willing to say, all right, you've carried this weight your whole life. We got to think about, what is it that sets you on this course genetically, like in your family. And there's a lot of obesity in that family. Our grandmother, she's my step grandmother, but her biological grandmother was hugely obese. The kind of weight that you really carry in your tummy, that low tummy.
That's me.
Yeah. And that is so obviously genetic. It's not even funny. It's like having really long legs or broad shoulders or long fingers, whatever it is. So her sister, my other cousin, the key thing is finding doctors that listen. And being a female-bodied human doesn't bode well for people. I mean, my daughter's dead because people looked at my skinny little 13-year-old and thought she was lying, dramatic, exaggerating, and anorexic and everything else. And I feel if she had been a boy, they might have said, oh, she probably hit his head. He better go get a CAT scan kind of thing.
Get a CAT scan.
Yeah. And I feel that with the weight issues too, we let what we see dictate too much. I love that your doctor asked those questions. Now you have your gastric sleeve. You're a few months in now and you've lost a chunk of weight. Is it starting to feel, is life feeling a bit more normal now?
It's feeling normal, and I'm at the point where, like, some days I'll be like, "Oh, like, I feel different," or,
Yeah.
like, in that picture, I can see the change,
Yeah.
which is nice. Like, watching the scale, we're, like, so excited. We're like, "Oh my god," like, "I can't wait to see the, like, 250s," you
Yeah.
know? And the goal, ultimately, from start to finish is 100
Yeah.
pounds,
Would
you know?
that put your BMI at a place where you could
Yeah.
entertain both kidney donation and breast reduction?
Yep. Goal is like 193, and it can take, up to a year.
Yeah.
And they say try to lose as much as you can in the beginning because the body works in funny ways. And just because we take the part of the stomach out now that says you're hungry and you won't have that, it does rewire
Oh, of
itself
course it does. The human body is amazing.
because it's crazy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're really helpful. It sounds weird, but they're very strict with me. I weigh out my food. If they're asleep, I like take pictures because I need that accountability because I
Yeah.
love food so much. It feels like there's a routine and there's progress, and now there's like a little more variety.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like I
Right.
was I was craving spaghetti tonight, so Sir did his homemade pasta sauce, and we're using spaghetti squash instead of actual
Yeah.
pasta, which
Yeah.
is a wonderful alternative.
Oh, yeah. That's a great idea.
So I struggle because to me, pasta like should be kind of soft.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I've tried the zoodles and all that,
Yeah.
and it's not quite the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
The spaghetti squash is wonderful, and then we also got like tofu noodles. They're a big ramen fan.
Yeah. Oh, God.
And I introduced them to like homemade ramen. So like buying not just store bought chicken ramen,
Yeah.
but like let's make broth. And now Sir makes ramen all the time, and I'm like, oh, I miss you, noodles.
Yeah. I know. Oh, God. Oh, that's funny. That's
Um,
funny. So share a little bit what you were telling me about your dad worrying about you being a kidney donator, because this is another tricky part to
it
organ
is.
donation that people don't always understand.
He was probably like a month in to his pig kidney. And he was like, I wouldn't wish this upon anyone. And how can I ask you to donate a kidney? Like, what if you need both your kidneys? Or I don't want you to live this life and have to be on medication and all these things. And that's hard. I mean, even probably for my mom to hear. And it's ultimately like, people don't understand, one, it's a huge decision. Like, do I want to go down that road? Like, that's terrifying. I love my dad, but as a human, that's
Yeah.
a terrifying thing to
Right.
be like, yes, I'm going to do this.
Right.
There's been very minimal talk about it since then. I still work on my weight because I know that's what's best for me. And like I said, I have alternative surgeries that I would like, but I think until I'm there, we got to see, what
Right.
that road looks like.
Yep. Yep. Fortunately, because organ donation is such a huge decision and such a permanent decision, once
Yeah.
you've given it, it's gone. The process, because I remember with Kenny, my blood type is A positive. So I was going to do one of those, I'll donate a kidney to Frank in Tennessee. And Frank's wife, June, will donate a kidney to Susie in California. And Susie's best friend's kidney will go to Kenny, because that sometimes is the only way. I donate a kidney for Kenny, but it doesn't go to Kenny, it goes to someone else. My only issue was I'm older. I was in my 50s at the time. They tend to be a bit more careful with older organs. They prefer younger organs. But the questions I had to answer, and then psychological and emotional piece, pretty significant. So I think if you were being interviewed, really going down the road to donate a kidney, if there was any reticence or reluctance or anxiety around certain aspects of it, it would be a hold off. We're going to stop right now. Let's see how these things pan out over a few weeks, which is pissy for the people that just want to get it done already. You feel like, look, I'm here, but it's too big of a decision, and that's your dad. So you don't want this obstacle in your relationship.
He would never like hold anything like that against me.
No,
And
no.
I believe that.
I do too.
My dad's always been my biggest cheerleader. If my decision finally came, like, I don't think I can do this because I do worry, like, what do my genetics look like?
Yes.
He would go, okay.
Yes.
we'll figure something else out.
Yeah. And that's logical and makes sense. And that he would be very open to that. One thing that really struck me about him was he has the perfect balance of if you want it, make it happen, and what will be, will be.
Yeah.
Which some people would be like, well, that's two opposite methods of thought. And I said, yes and no. You can go for what you want, make it happen, but what happens is what's going to happen.
Correct.
And so, yeah. And
Yep.
so not everyone can step out of themselves like that and see it. And your mom, God bless her, I think she's very tired a lot of the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
She is the super hot, the superstar behind
Yes.
the curtain. The outside world doesn't get to see
No.
or appreciate how much she's done. Made the comment the other day. I was like, till we die, death do us part. That's a hard one to keep, ain't it?
Yeah, no shit. Yes, it is.
And she's like, you're telling me,
Oh.
but she has done everything.
Yeah.
There's days he was sick and she's cleaning up after him. She was even talking to my partner and he was like, I don't know what to tell her. And she was like, how do I mow the lawn? And there's these trees and there's bushes. And he's like, it's not like I'm right around the corner and I can be like, oh, let me hop on my riding lawnmower.
No, I know.
And I said, she just has to get it out. And she is a very stoic human.
Oh, yeah.
It's always been that way. And the other day we were in the grocery store and she texts me and she goes, all I've done is cry today. And I was like, sir, I think I need to go call my mom. I was like, I don't remember a time in my life like ever seeing my mom cry, never admit that she cries, right?
Right.
Like funerals probably, but outside of that.
Yeah, no.
And so just like her, she's just on a closer roller coaster ride with my dad than we are. Been amazing.
Yeah. I'm glad she's willing to cry all day and that she's willing to share it. In all my child loss grief journey, the hardest part for me is when people tell me to be happy. You can choose how you feel. Okay, well, no, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't just choose to be happy because, I think I'll choose to be happy. If I could, don't you think I would choose that every day? I don't wake up and say, I think I'll be sad today. Sometimes I wake up and before I can even open my eyes, I've been punched in the throat emotionally, and that it's going to be, you know what? I'm calling out of everything today. I'm not getting out of bed. And I don't. If I need to stay in bed all day, I stay in bed all day. Whenever people say, what advice can you give this person or that person? I'm like, you need to do what you feel and you need to not listen to people tell you what to do or how to feel. It's the same thing with your mom. She has to be who she is. She has to live according to the way she's lived. She has to share what she shares or not share what she doesn't want to share. In the meantime, in crying all day, she needs to put herself first. You know what, Tim, I'm going to cry all day today.
Yep.
This is what I need to do.
This is what I need to do.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful that it has brought us together so that she does feel comfortable, like texting that to me. Yes. So I can call and she can cry on the phone and get those frustrations out. Because I think everybody should have a person that they can text that to.
Yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Wow, Gabby. As a teacher, you see your classrooms full of little kids and you do recess duty and you look around and you know that 20 years down the road, some of them won't be here anymore. Some of them will be owning companies. Others will be getting out of jail. Others will be married with kids. Others will be divorced. Like you just see it all and you know that. And I keep contact or just follow so many Walker School kids just because I still live right here. But also social media makes it easy. And it's funny. I don't know that I would have pictured when I think back to how much I knew of you as a kid, all the SCA and AMC stuff, like I never knew that was all interesting to you. Like it's such a fabulous surprise, right? Because that was a huge piece of my reality. I love this story. I love the fact that I knew you guys when. I love the fact that your parents live 1.5 miles from me down the road and they're as regular as can be. And yet they're involved in this amazing thing. And then here you are living your life. And quite honestly, what you're doing, undergoing such a radical surgery and really trying to make a big life change, not only to maybe help your dad, but to help yourself, isn't everyday stuff. We feel like sometimes I think people think it is but I'm just so proud of you. And I don't want that to sound trite, or like, ooh,
no.
It just makes me smile.
Yep. When I talk to my dad, I'm like, I finally bought a house. So last year, the three of us all bought a house together. And he's like, I never thought I'd see that day come. And I'm like, hey, you're preaching to the choir, right? Like, I was a wild child. I get it. And now I'm the grandma that stays home with her 20-something chickens running a chicken rescue. So,
Oh my God, I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, so as we wrap up, is there anything, I mean, this is that cheesy end of the podcast interview question, but is there anything that you really want people to know about you or want people to know about your journey or something about what you've gone through?
It's been a lot, and people always tell me I'm brave, and I don't always see it, but sometimes you have to believe in yourself,
right,
even when it's hard. And that's what I would tell people. Like, if you have a little ounce of belief in what you can accomplish, right, that's half the battle.
That's the hard part sometimes. It took me about 3 years after Molly died to stop saying I hate myself like 50 times a day. I wouldn't say it out loud always, but sometimes, oh, I hate myself. I hate myself. It was such a hard shift for me because I was just so consumed with self-hatred. But once I started to see a little glimmer of maybe I'm actually just okay, it was a corner turn for me.
Yeah.
And it's very similar for you. So thank you so much for being willing to come on and talk to me. I don't make money on my podcast. Not 20 million people don't listen, but the people that do listen, every episode I have somebody from somewhere in my life who says, oh my gosh, or, oh, I shared this episode with my friend who's going through this. I love it. And so I just know that there are other women out there and other family members and other people in general that will listen to this and be like, huh, yeah.
No, and I love it. And now we just have to Zoom for fun.
Yes, we do.
We're buddies.
Exactly. I agree. I want chicken updates. We have to do Zoom on the phone and you can walk around the chicken coop.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You totally do that.
Yeah, all right, everyone. Thanks for listening. Gabby share her crazy, interesting life stories with us. As always, be good to yourself. Be good to yourself first. Do what Gabby did. Take a long, hard look and decide what's best for me and do that. After you've done that, be good to someone else. Give your dad a kidney or don't. Whatever works. And as always, have a good day, everybody.
Hey, thanks for listening and supporting the podcast. Feel free to leave a review and share my stories with your friends. Please reach out with your own stories, as I love connecting with my listeners. If you would like to get to know Molly, head over to mollybfoundation.org to see what she is all about. If you want to see what I'm up to next, you can find me on Instagram at barb_444, on Facebook as Barb Higgins, and at my website, 1000tinysteps.com. And while you're there, sign up for my newsletter, a weekly way to find out what's up in the life of Barb Higgins.